So I just got done watching the first episode to American Horror Story 1984, and so here's my thoughts on it. So the show starts off with the killer of this new season, Mr. Jingles, killing a cabin full of camp counselors, and yeah, so that automatically reminds me of. Well, I mean, I've seen the trailers. I already kind of knew they were going for the Friday the 13th vibe, paying homage to that. And man, there's a lot of tributes and little Easter eggs to other slasher movies that it just gave me a big smile on my face watching it. And gave me high hopes for this season. I really hope it's good because the last few seasons of American Horror Story has been pretty bland and, sucky. So yeah, so after these murders happen, they close down this camp, Camp Redwood, I believe, and so they're gonna try to open it up 14 years later or in 1984. So we follow Emma Roberts' character. I believe her name is Brooke, and certain things happen. So she's gonna be one of the counselors, and so. So I do like the characters so far. They're pretty entertaining, especially Emma Roberts' character. I love her. She's been in a lot of the seasons. So yeah, I love the 80s feel to this. I just love like movies from the 80s and movies that take place in the 80s. I love that. So automatically, I love this episode just for that. So now I'm going to get into some negatives with this episode. If you haven't seen it, you might want to click off, go watch it, come back, and watch my review then. But, well, this isn't a spoiler yet. Well, I haven't got to the spoilers just yet. But this particular thing I'm going to mention happened right at the beginning of the episode, where Mr. Jingles is killing the camp counselors. And what really disappointed me was I can tell that the blood and stuff like that, the wounds, is CGI. And that's a big disappointment because they're trying to feel like the 80s. And the one thing I loved about slasher movies in the 80s is that they use practical effects. They didn't use CGI back then. They made the makeup and shit like that, and that was a big missed opportunity for American Horror Story. They should have, if they want to feel like the 80s, they should have like did practical effects. And yeah, it was CGI, and right then and there, that was already my first negative for the episode. Maybe, I mean, they still have time maybe to change, maybe use more practical effects. But yeah, that was my first negative. And another negative, and now I'm getting into the spoilers. So another negative was they showed the killer's face already. There's no suspense now. I'm not as scared of him as I would have been if they would have kept him a mystery. Like if they would have hid him in the shadows or kept his face covered and only showed, like maybe his feet a lot, like when he's walking, or just showing a silhouette of him as he's hiding in the shadows. Like something like that to keep him more mysterious. But already they showed his face, and so that was a big disappointment too. My third negative would be the killer's backstory. They already revealed that too, and I didn't find it that interesting. It was okay. So I'm going to end the review on a positive. So I already covered how I like the 80s. Like they're doing a pretty good job so far of, making me really love the theme, the 80s theme that they're going for. And the other positive was I liked, the Friday the 13th vibe I was getting from them being at a camp, Camp Redwood. And so then they make me even more happier by having a character drive to a mental hospital, and there's these patients outside running around, and well, Mr. Jingles escaped this mental hospital, and yeah, that was a callback to the original Halloween, because that happened in the original Halloween movie where Michael Myers escapes, and he frees all the patients, and they're running around while Dr. Loomis and the nurse shows up at Smith Grove. So yeah, that was a callback to Halloween, and I love Halloween. It's my favorite slasher franchise, and so just seeing that made me really, really happy. And yeah, I was glad that they included that, and I'm excited to see what else they're going to pay homage to. So yeah, I really like this episode, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I may review all the episodes each week. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon for another one.